Well, as you can see, I'm still working on finishing it out. I've got everything mudded and in there. I just have to sand it, add one more coat, and then texture it and paint it. I'll do that as we're going here, but the next thing I've got to do is I've got to get the 1x4x8 railing up above so that I can get that. Now that we've got the door framing in, we'll put up our actual wood 1x4 that'll support the metal rail. And that's got to be 82 inches off the floor is where the center mark needs to be for that. So we'll get that up there and then we'll proceed from there. I will need that, yes, but I need to figure it out first. All right, now we've got the 1x4 up all the way across. We've got it anchored in, and now we just have to go ahead and paint this, and then our rails will connect to this as per the instructions. Again, we're going to have the doors be able to slide into the middle and a little bit past each edge. So we've got that up, and now we'll get it painted, and then we'll move on with the door install. Well, there's a couple of things we have to do with these barn doors. One is I have to route out a 3/8 inch groove at the bottom of this door. That's for the door guides that will be set at the base of the door once the flooring's in to keep the door from popping in and out. So we've got to get that routed out. And because I have an old school router, I had to create a kind of a jig so that I can run the door all the way across and make it straight instead of having it try and do it by hand and have it wavy. So we got the jig on there. We're going to put some masking tape on there to protect the door since we got these painted. And we'll go ahead and get the first part of this routed out. And you see this piece right here gets screwed to the floor, and it rides in this groove right here as the door slides. So we got that routed out, and now we'll start working on the upper guides for the door on the rail. All right, the next thing we got to do is we got to drill the poles for our brackets for the top that hold the door onto the rail. We got to get these. They got to be 2 inches from each edge. I went ahead and masked this off so we can move on it. And I'm using this type of tape rather than the blue tape so I can see my pencil marks better. So we'll get these marked out and we'll start positioning our brackets for and wheels for the upper rail. right, so these are the upper casters that will sit up on the rail. Again, we got to drill 2 holes, 3/8 inch through for these, and so we'll get these positioned and measured out exactly where we need them, and then we'll get them drilled out. To drill these holes out, I'm going to use a 3/8 inch Diablo bit. One thing I found is I'm going to drill the top hole first, and then I won't go all the way through. I'll go to where just the tip of the blade kind of comes through, and then I'll drill back through the other side. That'll keep the door from splintering and tearing up the paint job and making it look even. Even though it'll be the back side of the door, I still want to have it look nice. So we'll get these holes drilled out and get these mounted. All right, now we got our door hardware on. We got our first door done. Now we'll get on our second one and get that prepped and ready, and then we'll start on inserting the rails. So let's get on with our second door. There we go. We got both doors are ready. We got the casters on, and we got the bottoms routed out. We still have to put the handles on, but I'm going to wait and do that on the very end. But the doors are ready to go. Now we need to work on the actual railing piece of this. So we'll get busy with that. So again, we're going to mask this so that I can draw all my marks. We're going to have to put up the hardware that goes first. So we have these little brackets that are 16 inches on center all the way through the main rail. And so I've got to, I'll put the tape up there, and then we'll mark out for our rail exactly where our holes have to be and make sure that it's all level and do all that. So we'll get busy getting this on. Tricky to hold that piece of metal up there to figure out the holes, but I'll get this sorted out. So I've got all my holes are marked 16 inches on center. That's what they are in the bar. And so I'm going to pre-drill all these holes so that way once I put these lag screws in, they're not splitting the wood and they're easier to get in. So I'll go ahead and pre-drill these, and then we'll start putting in all this in the main rail. All right, now we're going to try and get this metal bar fastened in there. Again, this goes up against the 1x4, and then the lag screw goes through that into the wall and through the top rail. So we'll see if we can get this done here. All right, so we got the rail up there. We still have to put the door stops on. That's the next stage, and then we'll put our doors up. So we'll get the door stops up there next. All right, well, these are our door stops to keep the door from sliding off the end of the rail. So we'll go ahead and get this one up, and then we've got one on each end. That should do that, and then we're able to put the doors up. Again, we won't put in the bottom guide until we get the floors in. So we'll at least get all this hardware in, and then we'll move from there. So let's get this installed. There you have it. We have our first rail of 2 up. We'll go ahead and get the second rail installed, and then we'll start putting our doors on. But I'm pretty happy with how that went together, and we're getting there. So let's get our second rail up, and then we will go for there. All right, there you go. We got both our rails on there. It looks pretty sweet. It wasn't too tough to get that on. Once I figured out how to do the first one, now we got it both on, and now we'll start hanging our doors. That's kind of cool. All right, well, we have some adjustments to do. I'm going to move the door stops to where they stop over the door holes. You can see that one's kind of got a little bit of an opening. But aside from that, that is pretty cool. But I got those up there. That's a big project off our list, the last of the doors to be hung. So anyway, if you like this type of thing, please remember to like and subscribe. Hit that bell notification for when new videos are uploaded. And please make sure to leave some comments. I really do love getting them. Anyway, thanks for watching.